I'm Sherry Schreiner. I didn't have a show on Wednesday, so back at it today. You know, I don't march to man's drum, I march to the Father's, and so it's kind of funny when I don't do a show to see the panic. Not from my people. Okay, so there's a couple things I'm talking to with Father lately, because, you know, I sit out at night and I get my chair on the driveway and I watch for EP to rise in the southwest. And this phenomenon I've been noticing, how the sun was setting way over in the northwest. And at the same time, in the southeast sky, diagonal from northwest, it would be getting lit up over there. And it wasn't a refraction, because there would be a ton of gray clouds in between the two, you know. So it wasn't like it was reaching across the sky and lighting up the sky. And I've been watching this every night. And so yesterday I was in my car, and I actually started to drive towards the southeast to see if I could see anything, see a planet back behind those clouds, because what I'm sure of is that it's the red iron oxide effect from Nibiru, Planet X coming in. And I always said that it would come up from the south, because that's where it's been. It's been down south. And it's coming up. It's rearing its ugly head up to the northern hemisphere. And if you want to get a glimpse of that, the effects, of course, the effects are everywhere, but you can't deny what you see with your own eyes in the southeast when the clouds are lit up with red iron oxide. And so I might get my camera out there, kind of blocked where I live with a bunch of trees. But I might try to get someplace. If somebody wants to start taking photos, get telescopes out and point it towards the southeast at sunset, we might be able to get pictures of something back behind it. One of the things I kept seeing in the codes was reddening, and I've seen that on and off throughout the years. Don't pay much attention to it. Reddening as in skies, or is that like another term for anger, you know? You have to watch it with the codes, because words can have multiple meanings. And so, you know, the skies are reddening. And I was asking the Father before the show, I said, what's the signal that we're going to have a pole flip? Because we know there's a pole flip coming. As much as people want to naysay it, the elites are getting ready for it. People with money are getting ready for it. Why aren't the sheeple getting ready for it? And because the sheeple are going to be the only ones that would be saved from it. If you look at the judgments coming from Father, the tribulation period is about the destruction of the wicked, not the righteous. He protects the righteous as much as he can, those who will listen, those who can be led by him. And, you know, I posted on my Facebook, and I'll send it out to my email list, a doomsday map by a remote viewer. I don't know who this Gordon Michael Scallion guy is, but as I was looking at this, it just kept coming to me. He's a remote viewer, because the Navy and our military, I guess they currently go by Edgar Casey's predictions. And so the two most dominant doomsday mappers are Edgar Casey's map and Gordon Michael Scallion's map. And I don't know who Gordon Michael Scallion is. I'd have to do some research on this. But you know what? I would take either one with a grain of salt, because they didn't get their information from the Father. They were getting it from outside sources, and they're hardly ever right about anything. But they can, you know, maybe about 60% right, you know, about this map. I'm looking at it. Because a pole flip's not the end of the world. And what came to my mind, because I'm trying to think, okay, everything's going to be destroyed. Everything's not going to be destroyed. The one little scripture that came to my mind was in, I think it was Isaiah. And it talks about how the Antichrist builds a wall across Babylon so that the citizens can't escape the destruction stuff that's coming on it. And so I'm like, There's obviously going to be that wall built Trump wants. I don't know if he'll be the one to build it, but there's going to be a wall. So we've got time to go. Not all is destroyed. Maybe it's a shorter wall than he originally had planned. But there's going to be a wall that blocks Americans, not protecting them from the evil Mexicans. And I say that sarcastically. But it keeps them from leaving the United States. They can't escape the United States. Maybe the Mexicans ought to think twice about coming over here if so many Americans are going to be looking to get out of the United States. So, I don't go where science leads me. I go where the Father leads me. And that's the difference between a prophet and a scientist and an astronomer. Something else I wanted to point out that I find. Okay, let me give you some scriptures about a coming pole flip for those of you who want to naysay on it happening, because it's already happening. We're already in the middle of it. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you what it said about the signal. He said to watch the moon. Watch the moon. When the moon starts, okay, we have scheduled, like, red moons. I mean, those were always signs. We had, 4 last year? 4 red moons. Well, when you start seeing unscheduled red moons, and it's quite frequent, like watch for the moon to start turning red, maybe pinkish, we're going to go on a pole flip. He said watch the moon, so. And it's funny, someone just sent me a heads up that the moon was changing shapes the other night. Yeah, it's getting beat up by Nibiru. Because the moon is the closest object to Earth. The closest planet, the closest object, closest satellite. And there's hundreds of planets out there, folks. Don't listen to these idiots tell you there's 9 planets in our solar system. 9 that they recognize as part of our solar system. That does not mean there's not other planets out there. There's plenty. There's galaxies. The Andromeda Galaxy, the Pleiadians, the Pleiades. There's plenty of other planetary systems out there. They're just not part of our system, our little Milky Way solar system. We have 9 planets. It does not mean there are not tons of other planets out there. Job 9:6, he shakes the earth out of its place. Isaiah 13:11 and 13, I will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their iniquity. I will halt the arrogance of the proud and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth will move out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts and in the day of his fierce anger. Out of her place can be translated off her axes. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall totter like a hut. Its transgression shall be heavy upon it, and it will fall and not rise again. Isaiah 24:20. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn to the lowest part of Hades. It shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Deuteronomy 32:22. And if you look at the map, all these doomsday maps, it's always the coastlines that are destroyed. And who's on the coastlines? 90% of the libtards. If you want to look at a one group of people that is completely abominable and wicked, full of sin and abominations, that's Cain's kids. Cain's kids. And who's Cain's kids? They're on the coastlines. They're all city dwellers. They're city dwellers. They love the city. The only time they go to the country is to hide their murders, because they buy up deserts and forests, and they turn them into a human hunting ground for sport. They kidnap humans and set them loose and then hunt them down and kill them for sport. They're wicked. They're wicked. And they can't escape the Father's judgment. You know, you sit here and you read about how the elite are buying up, these billionaires are buying up millions of acres of land. And I'm telling you right now, stay away from them, folks. Do not envy them. Stay away from them, because they are on the target list. They're all on Father's target list. You want to talk about assassination lists and target lists? Let's talk about the Father's list, because they're at the top of it. All of them are going to be destroyed. There are ranks of destroyer angels within the kingdom of heaven. Some of you just want to be choir boys, and that's fine. And that's why you don't like me, because I'm a warrior, and you want to be a choir boy. You want to drown yourselves in the lamb aspect of the Father and not embrace the lion aspect of the Father. There are two sides to the Father, the lamb and the lion. And let me tell you about the lion, because I love the lion. The lion is very organized in its destructions. He has warrior angels, he has destroyer angels, and he will target and destroy those he hates. So don't be around the elite. Don't be suckered up into their underground bunkers, because they're going to be destroyed with water and floods and fires, earthquakes. Anything they set their hands to is going to be destroyed. So don't marvel at the money they've spent to save their own lives. They're going to be destroyed. Their food will turn to mold. Their water will dry out. Father's time of justice and judgment. That's why I laugh every time I look at this elite stuff. I know what's coming to them. I'll lead it myself. I'm a warrior angel. I'm a destroyer. They can't hide. They think they're going to get in their little underground tunnels from Paraguay and go hide in Shambhala in the middle of the earth. And that's not going to happen. Shambhala is going to be destroyed. They're all going to be coming up to Earth to try to survive. One of the things I wanted to mention, I'm watching all these, I don't watch them, I just see the headlines. I can't stomach them. All these prophecy videos coming out that the Feast of Trumpets is on September 23rd this year. Let me set you straight on something. It is not the 23rd this year. The Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah, is October 3rd through the 4th. If you want to look at the correct time, go to hebcal. Let me see. hebcal.com. Look at his page on the holidays. We'll give you the times and the dates for all of the feasts this year. Rosh Hashanah is October 3rd and 4th. Yom Kippur is October 12th. And Sukkot, the ingathering, is October 17th to 23rd. We have no feasts in the month of September this year. But yet you go to all these prophecy videos, and they're harping about the Feast of Trumpets being on September 23rd. Last year, Yom Kippur was on September 23rd. Or no, that was 2015-16. Yeah, last year. So, I understand there's a lot of confusion with the Jewish calendars, because I get confused a lot too. Trust me. I'm fixing stuff and redoing stuff. But you can go to hebcal, hebcal.com/holidays, and look at the links for the holidays this year, coming up for the next several years. No Feast of Trumpets 23rd, so that blows your little timelines out. Everyone keeps trying to promote September 23rd as a huge rapture date, because, let's just try to make some sense out of this. September 23rd aligns with the Virgo constellation, which aligns with Revelation chapter 12. I get all that. I like the alignments. I like the correlations. what I don't like is they tried to push a rapture in that somewhere. They got to have their rapture, because all these people, the bride who sleeps, who worships at the altar of pagan penis Christmas trees and fertility Easter eggs, are always thinking they're going to be the first ones taken off the earth. They're not. They're going to be here. They're going to be refined with all their stupid apostasies and pagan beliefs. So don't get wrapped up in that crowd, folks. Don't get wrapped up in the religiosos. Remember, it was the religious people of the day that hung Yeshua on the cross, had him nailed to the cross. Yeah, it was the religiosos of the day. Look at the religiosos among us today. Browbeat everybody else who doesn't align with their false prophecies. They hate you. So, pay attention, folks. Sit at the Father's feet. Ask him to lead and guide your thoughts. We have a pole flip. We're going to have earthquakes, and we're going to have giant tsunamis. No doubt about it. It is not going to destroy the complete world, although the aesthetics may be destroyed. When you're looking at tornado winds, yeah, you know what? That's why I'm getting the Oregon out, because I'm thinking if the whole world's going to be destroyed, my little Oregon area is going to be left intact. If I'm here when this happens. My little, and mind you, I live in a double wide trailer. This thing would be in the air at 100-mile-an-hour winds. I'm going to be fine, But hey, I bought some tents in case, right? Don't tempt the Father. That's like buying a beach house and all your wisdom, thinking the Lord's going to protect me, because you're tempting the Father, and He says don't tempt the Father. So, do what you're led to do. Use wisdom in all things. The most precious thing on the planet is going to be drinking water. Think about that. And food. Yeah. You ever wonder why the elite? Well, I'm not going to get into all the food scenarios, but because they have underground cities full of food for themselves, but that's all going to rot. That's all going to be rotted and molded. They're not going to be able to touch it. Everything they touch is going to be molded and disgusting. They're on the target list. So they might as well just sell it to Christians, right? Because the Lord will bless it and give it to them. It's not going to be smart to be on the wrong side of the Father with all the destructions coming up, folks. Get off the fence. Get back with the Father. Start all over. Throw out everything you've ever been taught by apostasies of the churches today. Just start over. Ask the Father to reteach you everything. I had to do that years ago. I was so filled with religioso. I was raised a Baptist. And you know what? Baptists know their Bible. I got to give them that. I love that. A lot of training, foundations. But they still have a lot of wrong things about their beliefs. So you need to sit at the Father's feet and ask Him to lead and guide you in all things. He'll throw out the garbage and give you the truths. So watch for the increasing red iron oxide in the skies. Watch for the moon. Starts looking like a girly girl. We're in a pole flip. I'm heading to a pole flip. Tentative dates that they're throwing out there from NASA, September 25th to October 19th for geomagnetic reversal. One of the interesting things I thought I got from this was that the Van Allen radiation belt will collapse to the Earth and bombard the Earth with radiation, and that jumped out at me. Makes total sense, because if you read the tribulation judgments of the book of Revelation, one of the major complaints from the wicked is the heat, and there's plagues, the heat and plagues. Imagine radiation, the constant pounding of radiation. That would be like being stuck in a tanning bed, no way out, and magnified. And so watch for that to happen, because that's definitely going to happen. Van Allen belt collapsing to Earth. Father said to go to the mountains, folks. Go to the mountains. He didn't say go find a beach house. He said go to the mountains. One of the safest mountains are going to be the Appalachian Range, but they're the most dangerous because there's so many wild animals on that thing. A lot of weird stuff in the Appalachian Mountain Range. Probably the Rockies, too. But the Rockies, you're right smack in the middle of fires, volcanoes out there, you know? You got Mount St. Helens, you got Yellowstone. So interesting, folks. Oh, and the temperature of the Earth's core is going to increase. That with the picture I'm getting is hell literally breaking through the surface of the earth, and it talks about that in the Bible. It talks about hell greets thee at thy coming. It's talking to the Antichrist of Satan. It's literally going to burst through the earth at one point because the fire mass inside the earth of all the lava lakes and hell itself and everything is going to burst through to the surface. It's going to cause a lot of heat, folks. And it bursts through Jordan. Idumea. I believe that's the name of the country in the Old Testament. It's modern-day Jordan. So, hell is going to bust through the earth in Jordan. At the flip side, Petra is the safe zone for the Jews who are fleeing Israel. They go to Petra. So Jordan gets it both. It gets judgment and a reward. I would consider a reward to be able to host running Jews. I mean, at the end of the nations, the judgment of the nations, the goats and the sheep and the goats. Is that the judgment of the nations? And the nations that were good to Israel, the people, Christians, not the fake Jews in Israel today, but the real ones, they will be rewarded and allowed to go into the tribulation period. Nobody is telling you to bend over and lay out for the Satanists that run Israel today. We're not talking about the government. We're talking about the true blue Israelite people who love Yahushua ben Joseph. Anyway, folks, I'm out of time. This show went quick. I'll be back on Monday. Pick up where we leave off. Till Monday, everybody. God bless.